My name is Genesis Salazar. Today's topic is the ethical pressure on video game developers to think about how their games may encourage or discourage moral behavior in players, a topic that has become important due to its impact on society. Video games are not just for kids or passing the time anymore. There are now about 3.3 billion gamers worldwide, and the industry is worth more than $500 billion. This means gaming is part of daily life for nearly half of the world's population. With so many people playing, the influence of games and the responsibility of creators is more important than ever. As video games become more realistic and complex, developers now face growing ethical pressure to consider their impact on players' moral behavior. Here's our journey. First, why ethics matter in games. Then, the main issues developers face, including violence, spending systems, and addiction. We will talk practical ethics, exploring real dilemmas in design. We will explore the global lens, what's happening in different countries, how industry adapts, and policy trends. And then we will discuss positive examples, industry reforms, key arguments, and why all of this matters for everyone. Let's look at why this topic matters. In the UK, a teenager spent thousands of family dollars on FIFA loot boxes, an experience seen around the world as kids get caught up in flashy digital packs. But there's another side too. Games like Undertale reward real compassion. Some players say they walk away still thinking about those small, merciful choices, even feeling more empathy toward other after the game ends. These are not isolated cases. Academic studies show that many in game rewards and penalties can shape real world behavior and values. So, what are the most controversial issues? Violence in games always sparks debate, especially after high profile tragedies. The research is mixed, but it's a regular topic for critics and lawmakers. Then there's money, microtransactions, and loot boxes. In places like Southeast Asia, some players skip meals to pay in game items. Systems like battle passes, FIFA packs, and gacha mechanics in JRPGs are designed to encourage spending and keep people hooked. For some, it's just for fun, but for many, especially kids and those with less money, these systems can lead to regret, addiction, and even death. That's why the World Health Organization now officially lists gaming disorder as a real health risk, a move stemming from global research and advocacy. It is not just researchers asking the questions. Gamers themselves on places like Reddit speak up loudly about every new controversial system. Parents and youth advocates push for stronger protections. In response, countries like Belgium and the Netherlands have banned loot boxes, calling them a form of gambling, while China now forces companies to publicly all drop rates for in game rewards to protect the consumers. These regulations keep evolving and sometimes force game companies to delay or change games just to meet shifting rules around the world. Let's take a global view. Belgium and the Netherlands now treat loot boxes as illegal gambling, forcing games to change or pull features entirely. In China, the governments require game companies to display the odds for loot box rewards and has set strict limits on how much time and money minors can spend in games. Brazil is also stepping up with studies and new laws focused on youth gaming and public health. As these rules keep changing, developers must constantly adapt their games to shifting laws, cultures, and global scrutiny just to keep operating. Philosophers give us three useful frameworks to decide what is right. Consequentialism weights in the outcomes. A game mechanic is good if it helps people and bad if it causes harm, like addiction. RPGs or titles such as Undertale can actually reinforce empathy and real life generosity in players. Deontology focuses on honesty and fairness and says that developers should not trick or mislead players. Virtue ethics looks at the values the game promotes, asking if it encourages traits like kindness or inclusion. Studies show that when players help others in game, they often act kinder in real life. But manipulative features can have the opposite effect, leading to guilt and worse well being. Practically, this means game studios now hire entire teams to track policy trends, ensure compliance, and vet psychological impact. In Japan, compu gacha mechanics were banned to prevent gambling. In Brazil and Indonesia, local researchers have tracked how reward systems uniquely impact kids and low income families. Sometimes, content must be censored or reworked entirely for new regions, and missing regulations can mean public pushback or lawsuits. Industry reform isn't just about avoiding fines, it's about building trust and protecting their global audience. Many games today are built to support moral growth or mental health. Kind words lets players send thoughtful notes to lift each other up. The good dev puts you in the role of a designer making ethical calls, showing how those choices ripple out. Studies even show players feel more satisfaction and kindness when they help others in game. Some games, like Spar Eds, are made as therapy to teach real life coping skills. These examples prove that with the right design, games can help people, not just harm them. Good outcomes are common too. Games like Animal Crossing focus on creativity, relaxation, and positive social play without pressure or risky systems. Many players of all ages use games simply for fun, stress relief, or storytelling. Creative games like The Last of Us Part 2 and The War of Mine show that video games can tackle tough real life topics with honesty. These examples reminds us that games offer safe spaces for self-expression, kindness, and connection when built with care. Game creators now face strong ethical pressure from laws, the public, and players themselves. This debate shapes real business choices and the daily experiences of millions. As the industry grows, developers must balance making money with fairness and user well being. What they decide today shapes how the world views risk, kindness, competition, and responsibility. Thank you for joining me today. This conversation about how designers shape player behavior and face new ethical challenges is always changing. My references have been listed here, all central to the study and understanding of this global, ever changing field. Thank you for watching.